Good afternoon on this Saturday, February 21st. I'm Yumna Naufal. You're watching the English news on Future TV, and these are today's headlines. Snowstorm Windy dies down overnight, but schools and nurseries remain closed as icy mountain roads in fear of mudslides persist. Speaker Nabih Berri holds a banquet last in honor of future Chief Saad Hariri, where several local issues are discussed. And MP Fouad Senyoura stresses the need to respect the Constitution while rejecting the approval of new practices that would create confusion in Cabinet. After 2 days of strong storm, the Windy died down overnight, but schools and nurseries remain closed as icy mountain roads and fear of mudslides persist. Sunshine brought a welcome change to 2 days of heavy blizzards that buried villages across the country over Thursday and Friday. Roads in high altitude regions remain blocked and others are glazed in ice, causing several cars to skid. The internal security forces said the Dahr al-Baydar road, which connects Beirut to East Lebanon, has become accessible for cars with metal chains or 4x4s. The morning icy roads led to several traffic accidents, including a collision between a van and a car near Kubayat, north of Lebanon, injuring 10 people. Public Works Minister Ghazi Ziatar visited the village of Mtaylib in the Mitten district, where a major wall on the main road had also collapsed yesterday night because of the storm. The forecast, however, predicts a very sunny Sunday with no rain or snow. Speaker Nabih Berri is holding a banquet in honor of future Chief Saad Hariri. Several issues were discussed, local issues that is. The meeting between the two political leaders took place at Berri's residence in Ain al-Tini in the presence of Hariri's advisor, Nader Hariri, and Berri's political aide, Finance Minister Ali Hassan Khalil. No information was released on the issues tackled at the meeting, but Al-Liwa Daily on Saturday quoted visitors to Hariri as saying that the only solution to solve all the difficulties starts with electing a president. Moreover, Hariri voiced hopes that discussions between Free Patriotic Movement Chief Michel Aoun and the allies of the March 14 Alliance, together with ongoing dialogue along with Hezbollah and Amal movement, would open the door to elect a new president soon. Political disputes between the various political factions on the government's mechanism led to the suspension of sessions in light of the vacuum at the top presidential post. MP Fouad Senyoura is stressing the need to respect the Constitution and avoid violating and rejecting the approval of new practices that would create confusion in Cabinet. He said this during a seminar in the southern city of Saida. Quote, "Such measures have already rendered the government incapable of exercising its duties towards the citizens," he said, adding that we should adhere to the Constitution and avoid new practices that we may regret in the future. Senyoura explained that the Constitution stipulates how the Cabinet should take decisions in the presence of a president and in his absence as well. A debate has been raging among the political blocs over the government mechanism in light of the ongoing vacuum in the presidency. Lebanon has been without a president since May 25th of last year, when the term of Michel Sleiman ended. As a blanket of snow covers Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, essential winter survival kits have been arriving for the Syrian refugees escaping civil war and militant violence in their home country. Footage shot last week by UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, showed packages arriving by truck, each kit containing a winter jacket, scarf, woolen hats, gloves, jumper, trousers, warm underclothes, socks, and waterproof boots, packed for ages between 0 and 14. Lebanon has been hit by the severe snowstorm as the region experiences its coldest winter in years. So far, 3 snowstorms this year in Lebanon. According to UNICEF, in 2015 so far, it has provided items to help about 500,000 refugee children in the country to help them cope with the cold season. While it's cold here, a fire did break out today at a luxury apartment skyscraper in Dubai, engulfing several floors on at least 3 sides of the iconic Torch building and spewing flaming debris to the ground. There were no deaths or injuries, and the fire was out 3 hours after it began, according to the Dubai Civil Defense. The fire appeared to start around the 50th floor, but then strong winds blew the burning debris around to lower floors on other sides. Hundreds of people, many of them evacuated residents, were in the streets while emergency crews were on the scene. The Torch was the world's tallest residential tower when it was completed in 2011, according to the building's developer Select Group. It contains 676 residential units with 24-hour security and concierge. Coming up next, the U.S. National Security Advisor calls on governments around the world to work together to counter violent extremism. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching the news on Future Television. Yemeni President Abdelrabu Mansour Hadi, who resigned last month under pressure from Shia militia, left Sana'a after weeks under effective house arrest. Hadi was headed to the main southern city of Aden, where his supporters have refused to recognize the authority of the presidential council installed by the Houthi militia to replace him. It was not immediately clear whether the Houthis had allowed Hadi to leave in the face of demands by the UN Security Council for an immediate end to his house arrest. This also comes as Houthi fighters opened fire on protesters in the central Yemeni city of Idlib, killing one person and wounding another. Europe has granted Greece a crucial extension to its massive debt bailout, extending weeks of tension. The agreement between Greece and its creditors in the 10-nation Eurozone came at the cost of concessions, including a commitment to spell out reforms within 2 days. The deal will mean that Greece will avoid going bankrupt at least over the 4 months of the extension. It should also mean that capital controls will not be needed and that Greek banks will have enough money to stock up their ATMs. To get the money, the Greek government has one more hurdle to clear. It has to present a series of unspecified economic reform measures that are deemed unacceptable by creditors and rooted in Greece's previously enacted bailout government, something the government has promised not to do. The U.S. National Security Advisor is calling on governments around the world to work together to counter violent extremism. Susan Rice addressed the closing session of the White House summit to counter violent extremism in Washington, stressing the importance of the role of local communities in tackling extremism, arguing that government partnerships are critical, but the best solutions are often bottom-up, not top-down.
The bottom line is, countering violent extremism is essential to the security of all nations, and no one can meet this challenge alone. To secure our future against terrorist threats, we have to work together as governments and as peoples. First, we've agreed to work more closely as governments to understand the precise nature of threats at the local and regional level and to better coordinate our responses. Second, as we heard during this summit, effective interventions often begin and grow within local communities. Government partnerships are critical, but the best solutions are often bottom-up, not top-down. So we'll work more closely with civil society and tap the talents of communities which might otherwise be left on the sidelines. Third, we'll keep working to expand opportunity, particularly for marginalized populations. If, from an early age, young people can picture a promising future for themselves and see a path to reaching that future, they will be less likely to turn to violence or terrorism. Fourth, we're playing better offense when it comes to undermining the corrosive messages of violent extremists and pushing back with counter-narratives of our own. Violent extremists, like ISIL, offer nothing but death. They achieve nothing but the slaughter of innocents. Finally, we'll reaffirm our core values and strengthen protections for all our peoples, including religious and ethnic minorities. We must always take care to protect human rights, including freedom of expression. So let us leave here today with a renewed commitment to building a world unmarred by terrorism and ideologies of violence. Countering violent extremism is a difficult challenge, but it is not an insurmountable one.
With the countdown to the Oscars, last year's Oscar host and my favorite morning show woman, Ellen DeGeneres, is always one to make us laugh and smile. Apparently, she noticed a bumper sticker with political aspirations for her and could only wonder what being president would be like.
Who drove here today? Anybody driving here today? Yeah. So did I, and I'm driving to work today, and I want to show you what I saw. It was really exciting. I'm driving. You can imagine my excitement when the car in front of me had this bumper sticker on it. Look at that. It's a little blurry because I was driving really, really fast, so no, I didn't take a picture when I was driving. That'd be dangerous. I was stopped. But then I thought, wow, there's someone with my last name and Oprah's last name running for vice president and president of the United States. It's exciting. And then, no, it was really somebody's wishful thinking, and so I'm flattered that someone thought of that, and then I was like, how dare you? Really? I can't be president? How come she's president? I'm vice president. I could be president. I was the president of the Squirrels and Bird Association of Metairie, Louisiana when I was 7 years old. I was overthrown by a squirrel named Lars, but that's not the point. I'm flattered that people would, I mean, what a wonderful thing that somebody would trust me to run the country, but if I want real power in changing people's lives, I think I should stay right here. I think that's the best thing. Joy. But I have to admit, when I saw that bumper sticker, I couldn't help but think what a day as president would be like. I would imagine it would be something like this. Yes. Yes, President DeGeneres here, yes. No. Yes, very urgent. Absolutely not. No onions. No. And dressing on the side. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Laws under my presidency. The official animal of America will be the baby goat. And let's see. As of today, your horn. That's right. If you honk your horn the second after the light turns green, you lose your privilege to drive. Right? And from henceforth on, it shall be illegal to enter a Starbucks unless you already know your order. That's right. Yes. Furthermore, if I watch The Bachelor Tells All and The Bachelor does not tell all, in fact, he will be arrested because ain't nobody got time for that.
Martha Ruiz are the only two people in the world to know the winners of the coveted Golden Oscar statuettes, cinema's most prestigious prizes. As we count down the days, it's taking place Sunday night in Hollywood. They are the only people who tally up the votes of the 6,000 odd members of the Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts who choose the Oscar winners. It was for 84 years only done by paper, but over the last 3 years, they have allowed members to vote electronically with a password. An increasing number, the majority, now vote electronically. The pair have a team of 5 or 6 people to help them, but they make absolutely sure that no single person counts all the votes in a category to ensure nobody but them knows any of the winners. Both Cullinan and Ruiz each get a set of 24 envelopes with category names pre-printed together with 24 cards, but they fill in the winning names by hand before sealing them. This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a reminder of our top stories. Snowstorm Windy dies down overnight, but schools and nurseries remain closed as icy mountain roads and fears of mudslides persist. Speaker Nabieh Bideh holds a banquet in honor of future Chief Saad Hariri, where several local issues are discussed. And MP Fouad Senoura stresses the need to respect the Constitution while rejecting the approval of new practices that would create confusion in cabinet. Those are your Saturday headlines live on Future Television. Catch us again tomorrow at the same time for what's making news here and around the world. Good night.